game. Here we go. We're recording. There we go. We're recording. I would have been in big trouble if I hadn't started recording. So we're recording now. So today we're talking about impressions, and I'm kind of picking up from where I left off last week on the topic of pivoting, because I want you to look real hard at what you're doing, what you're not doing, what's working, what's not working right now. How do you know if what you're doing is working? And then do you need to pivot and make some adjustments as you go into the selling season? One of the things that I figured out several years ago, which was a game changer for me, I'm going to share this with you this morning on how exactly I do this, but I figured out how to not only go after a highly successful, marketing campaign throughout the November selling season, but also how to measure whether it's working while you're doing it. And there's nothing worse than preparing to sell something, and then you get down to open cart day and you throw that thing out there to sale and nobody buys it. And it sucks when you don't know if people are going to buy it. You don't know if people are interested in this thing, and you just go out hoping for the best. Hope is not a strategy. So I like to put as many variables and as many parameters in place as possible, so that as I'm going about my marketing process, I can measure and capture the interest along the way. So by the time I get to open cart day, I have a real good idea of who probably is going to buy this. And if you get to open cart day and you don't have some sort of at least a short list of who's probably going to buy it, probably nobody's going to buy it. So how do you do that? That's what we're going to talk about this morning. Sherry, welcome back from the carpool line, buddy. It's nice to see you. So let's talk about this. I'm going to give you some questions this morning because I like questions. A couple of these questions that I'm going to give you this morning, you may not have answers to, which is fine. Don't feel stressed if you don't have answers to these, but these are questions that you should definitely be asking yourself right now. We're 3 weeks from November 1st. In case you don't know that, November 1st is 3 weeks from today. My first Black Friday promotion comes alive in 3 weeks. And then I'm going to be trickling some things throughout the month of November, but that's 3 weeks. So lots going on over the next 3 weeks. And you should definitely be analyzing and assessing what you're doing and how you're doing it. So I'm going to give you a quote by Seth Godin. Seth Godin says, "The heartbeat of selling is to satisfy a customer's need. The heartbeat of marketing is to discover that need and position yourself as the solution to fulfill it." I'll give that to you one more time. The heartbeat of selling is to satisfy a customer's need. The heartbeat of marketing is to discover that need and position yourself as the solution to fulfill it. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking basically about how to find the people that need what you're selling, and also how to position yourself as the person who is best capable and qualified to fulfill whatever it is that they think they want. I see you, Jamie. Jamie's marketing is not your strong suit. Jamie, you're better at marketing than you realize. But marketing it's stressful, kind of, right? It's like, what do I say? How do I say it? Who do I say it to? How do I not come off as salesy? How do I show people, what I'm really capable of? How do I draw them in? All those things. So first question I'm going to ask you today is a simple one: is what are you planning to promote in November? What are you planning to actually sell in November? So hopefully by now you know what that is. If you don't know what that is, you need to figure that out real quick. And I've got a few of my clients that are bouncing around with ideas, because I could do this and I could do that. That's fine. Ideas are great, but at some point you need to nail that down. And right now is about the time you need to nail that down, because you've only got a couple of weeks left before you actually need to start selling that thing. So if you actually want to sell that thing in a few weeks, you need to be attracting the people that want to buy it right now. And so that's basically what marketing is. Marketing is not promoting what I'm selling. Marketing to me is attracting the people who need what I'm selling. And that's where people get kind of mixed up and messed up on marketing. And that's why most people get scared of marketing. I don't like being salesy. How do I promote myself? A lot of people say I'm uncomfortable, tooting my own horn or talking about my own products. I mean, you rarely, if ever, see me ever do a video where I'm actually promoting something that I'm selling. right? I'm when you see me, when you experience me, when you engage with me, it's all about the value. And so what I always am, as I always am very clear on what I do have for sale. And I'm also very clear on who needs that and wants that. And what do I need to do to attract that type of person who needs and wants it. So what are you planning to promote in November is a question that needs an answer quickly. Paul, good morning to you, buddy. It's nice to see you, buddy. The other thing I'll give this to you real quick before I give you some more questions is let's talk about the month of November just real fast. All right. So Black Friday is Black Friday. I've talked about this a little bit, but I haven't talked about this a lot lately. So I just want to kind of clarify my thoughts around Black Friday. So Black Friday has always been this massive selling day, huge day, big money to be made on Black Friday. The problem is that Black Friday over the last 5-10 years has become tremendously competitive, especially in the digital sense. So 10 years ago, Black Friday was all about the retail experience. The reason why Black Friday became Black Friday is because basically all the retailers would drop their huge seasonal promotions in mass quantities in their retail buildings. The promotions would get set up on the Wednesday leading into Thanksgiving. Businesses close Thanksgiving. Friday morning, everybody opens early, and the massive crowds roll into the retails and trample each other on the way in. And they buy the flat screen, and they buy the shop vac, and they buy all the things that they couldn't get anywhere for the crazy price. And it was the Black Friday selling experience, right? What happened along the retail world was basically that was how it used to be done. Well, then, competitor B was like, I think I want to do things a little bit different. So we're going to get a leg up on competitor A, and we're going to make our Black Friday stuff reveal on Wednesday before Thanksgiving to get ahead of the Friday traffic. And so then they started to open up their Black Friday deals on Wednesday. Well, then competitor A's were like, well, forget you. I'm just going to open mine on Monday morning then. So they backed up here and said, I'm going to do Black Friday week. And competitor B is like, oh, nuh-uh. Then we're going to do 2 full weeks of Black Friday. We're going the week before. And competitor A is like, we're doing Black November. And we're doing Black everything. And then Amazon's like, forget you. I'm going to do Amazon Day in October and smoke all y'all fools. Right? So that's just what happened. It just all backs up. So and it's funny, but it's real. Because I lived in retail through that experience. And so Black Friday was always an in-person, in the building experience. And then Cyber Monday was when you go online. So basically everybody buys everything in the building and everything's all sold out. And then you move online on Monday. Now the world is online. So the in-person experience is over. The last year was stupid because it was 2020, but even 2019, the in-person experience on Black Friday was lame. There's just not much there. Everybody's trying to push online. So how does this tie into what we do and how we do it? This is statistics, all right? The average online consumer on Black Friday is going to spend just under $800 per person statistically over the Black Friday selling season. So what that means for us is it's not a matter of having to convince someone to spend money in November. It's a matter of showing them that they should spend their money on you versus whatever else they may buy. And so from that angle, you have to be conscious of, am I getting my thing out early enough so that people have the option to consider what I'm selling before they spend all their money? So from that frame of mind, Black Friday in my mind is too late to promote something. If you wait till Black Friday to promote something for sale, the money's been spent. The sales are over. The month is over. So for me, what I'm doing is my first big deal, the biggest thing that I'll be promoting in November comes out Monday, November 1st. I'll be promoting that for 2 weeks. That'll be open for 2 weeks. 2 weeks later, I'll have another tier down offer that's going to come out, which nobody has a clue about. That'll come out 2 weeks later. And then both of those cart will close on Black Friday. So I'm not promoting something on Black Friday. I'm closing my offer on Black Friday, and it's done. That's your last day for enrollment. And then the cart closes on Friday. I don't usually do much with Small Business Saturday. In case you know about that, Small Business Saturday is the Saturday after Black Friday, where everyone in the world is encouraged to shop small and support small businesses. I don't usually go after that too much. Doesn't mean it's not worth going after. I just personally go so hard on Black Friday with a premium deal. I don't like selling for pennies on Saturday. But doesn't mean you can't. I think Small Business Saturday is great for people who, especially who have physical products. You got a book you want to sell, you got something that you've created, Sherry, book, that stuff's great for Saturday. Small incremental stuff is good for Saturday. And then I usually come in on Monday, Cyber Monday, with this will be my third offer of the month. And I basically, my thought process around the Monday is it's usually a tier down from what my November stuff was. So basically the idea around is if I had someone who really wanted what I was selling in November, but couldn't afford it for some reason, I'm going to give them something that's a step down where they could get that. And I could still do that even though I couldn't do this. And then I leave that open from Monday through Friday for 5 days. And so I try hitting a lot of Fridays because Fridays are paydays. So I do a lot of open and close on Fridays because I'm trying to catch pay periods. But that's just kind of an overall about how I go about November. So going back to question number 1, what are you planning to promote in November? I'd be thinking about all those things. How early in the month are you going to bring whatever it is that you're selling up? How long are you going to keep it open? The thing that is tricky about, getting out in front of November is that, I feel like if I only come out with one thing at the beginning of November, people's attention spans are so short. It's short, right? So if I launch something November 1st, and that's the only thing that I bring out for sale, then, by the time I get to the 4th week of the month in November, it's like, it's been 4 weeks has gone by. So I'm trying to keep the entire month for my business exciting by bringing up new things. Doesn't mean that you got to create something brand new either. Just let me be clear on this. If you got something for sale already, bring something that's in the past back up to life and offer it as some crazy promo or bundle services. That's another thing to do. So if you've got offer A over here, that's like a one-on-one, and then you got offer B as a course, tie those together and offer them as a bundled package. You can just throw something simple out there too. Like if you've got this perfectly structured program and you've got, these courses and these modules and all these things that are all great, you might just, throw up a quick 30-day coaching session for 4 coaching sessions for X price, and you cut the price for a period and just throw that out there. So what you're offering, what you're selling doesn't necessarily mean that it needs to be, some brand new created thing. Just find ways to engage your audience with what they think they would want. November is very much an impulse selling season. So go after that impulse buy. People have money to spend in November. They're just trying to decide where they're going to spend it. Okay. So back to number 1, what do you plan to promote in November? That gives you some thoughts all around that. Question number 2 is who's going to want this and why? That's an important question for you to ask yourself. So based upon what you are going to sell, if you're going to sell 1 thing or 3 things or however many things you're going to work through that month, everything you think you're going to bring up, you ask yourself that question: who is going to want this and why would they want it? You don't want to just put something out there because you think it's valuable or because you created it and you think it's great. That's nice. But who would actually want it and why would they actually want it? Because the why is what will make them buy it. And the why is also what should direct your marketing and your communication, how you're putting yourself out there, because why they want it is what your messaging should be about and attracting them to be thinking about what you're doing. Question number 3 is, how are you engaging people that you already know to warm them up? And I'm going to give you question 4 as well. Question 4 is, how are you engaging people that you don't know to intrigue them? So question 3 is basically how you are tapping into your warm audience, people that already know you, clients that have maybe already hired you, close connections that you have, followers that have been loyal for forever, but maybe you've never paid you. That's all your warm audience. So basically, how are you connecting to your warm audience to warm them up to things that you are doing? To give you an example, what I just did in the past 5 minutes by explaining my Black Friday process to you is warming you all up to what I'm selling in November, right? So I talk about it all the time. I'm talking to people that I already know me, people that have already hired me, people that are in my email list, people that are in my connections. I've been mentioning my Black Friday stuff for months. and just I toss it out in live streams. I toss up different things. Some of my freemiums direct people to it. There's different things that I'm constantly doing just to make people aware of what I've got going on. Nobody knows what I'm actually selling in November, but everybody knows that Justin's first thing is coming out November 1st, and I got to be on the lookout for what that looks like. So I'm warming up my warm audience to know what's coming. And then question 4 is, how are you engaging people you don't know? I'm bringing these both up because I think a lot of times when you go about promoting and marketing something for a sales season like November, it's easy to focus on new clients, new people that don't know you yet, but don't disregard people that are already in your backyard. And don't be afraid to sell to those people either, because I've always had the perception that if you serve your people well, they'll stick with you. Right. And so, a lot of times when I am creating new things, honestly, guys, majority of the time when I'm creating new things, I'm creating new things with you guys in mind. I'm creating things that I believe you need, things that I can be more helpful and more supportive to you guys and give you things that I believe that my tribe needs. Because I know if I'm serving my tribe well, there's going to be people outside my tribe that want to tap into that. So don't always trying to be chasing new, because you may have current people that may level up with you if they had the opportunity to do so. Okay. Does that make sense? Okay. So how are you engaging people you already know? How are you engaging people that you don't know to intrigue them? Again, I said, when we started today, there may be some questions today that you don't have answers to. You may not have answers to those questions. That's fine. Those questions need to be answered. So those are two separate things. How am I working to really engage and connect with people that already know them and warm them up to the things that I'm going to be showing them in November? And then how am I also going out and marketing and attracting new leads? Okay. Question number 5 is, I think I'm going to switch these questions because I got 5 and 6. I want to kind of give these to you in the right order. The 5th question I'm going to give you is, how are you measuring interest? This is where it comes down to your systems. All right. So one of the things that I started doing years ago and was so thankful for it was I started building an email list for people that were interested in knowing about my Black Friday promotions. So what I did, all right. So the first time that I did this, let me think about this a minute. The first time that I did this, and I kind of did it by accident, but then I was so thankful I did it, and it worked so well. It was crazy. The first time I did it was 2017 when I was launching my inner circle for the first time. And what happened with this was, you all know the story of the inner circle, how the inner circle came to be. The Lord gave me a prompting to create the inner circle, and it was the 1st of November. I had 4 weeks till Black Friday. And I was like, what the crap, what am I going to do? And I'm like, I'm just going to go announce it. So I went on Periscope and I announced, guys, I just got this idea to create the inner circle. I'm so excited about this. I gave some details about what it's going to be. I'm like, this is going to open for enrollment on Black Friday, and we're going to kick off the inner circle on January 2017. So it was 2016 that I actually announced this. So I said, if you're interested in I didn't have any tech set up. I'm like, if you're interested in knowing about getting more about this, shoot me a message or send me your email and I'll get you plugged in on the communication. So when this goes out, you get first dibs on it. And I got a ton of emails just from that broadcast. Then as I was going throughout the month of building and creating and planning out the inner circle, all my live streams, I was like, if you're interested in getting the details on this inner circle, give me your email address, let me know. And so I had all these people that were sending me their email addresses, letting me know that they were interested in knowing about my inner circle. So by the time I got to Thanksgiving, I had roughly, I think 40 or 45 emails of people that were very interested in the inner circle. I had only 20 spots available. So I talked about, it's going to be exclusive. It's going to be limited. It's going to be first people in are the ones that get it. And so what I did on that Thursday night, Friday morning was my official open cart for the inner circle. On Thursday night, I sent an email to those 40 plus people that had told me they were interested with the link to enroll early. And I didn't have a promotion or anything about that. I just sent them the link to enroll early. And I had like 14 or 15 people enroll overnight while I was sleeping. So then what happened was I came up Friday morning and I only had 5 spots left. So then I was able to go live with my actual official open enrollment and be like, listen, y'all, it's open cart day. And just in case you're on the fence, I've already sold 15 spots and we haven't even an open cart yet. So if you are the slightest bit interested in getting in, you better go there now, and so that closed out really, really fast. And I didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of because it happened the way it happened. I'm like, all right, that worked. And it was so nice going in to the selling season, having a good idea of who was interested. So every year since, when I've done Black Friday, I basically always kind of tease my Black Friday promotion leading into the weeks of it. And then I tell everybody, if you are the slightest bit interested in being a part of this, get on the early bird email list. There's going to be an email that goes out 12 hours prior to open cart. I always do it 12 hours prior to open cart. I don't know why, just because it feels good. So I do my official launch usually at 8 a.m. on the launch day morning. So on this particular case this year, November 1st, 8 a.m. is when I'll go out and do a live video. We won't have a Zoom by that day, by the way. I'm going to go out and do my open cart on November 1st. So 8 p.m. Sunday night before, anybody who's on that list will get an email with all the information about what it is. And I throw a discount in there on that email list as well. What I'm trying to do with that list is I'm making it a no-brainer. So I'm making it a no-brainer. So basically, as I promote, and you'll see this from me in the coming weeks, as I promote leading up to my Black Friday launch, I'll be talking about, listen, I got this coming up in November. If you are the slightest bit interested in having one of these few seats available, you need to go to my website, sign up on this early bird list, because anybody's on the early bird list is going to get first dibs on the only available seats 12 hours prior to the official launch. And there's going to be a coupon that's only available for 12 hours. So if you are the slightest bit interested, get on that list, because you will get first dibs and the best price that'll be made available. If anyone in the world is interested in it, they'll sign up on the list. And so that's how I know. So I know as I'm rapidly approaching the Black Friday launch, if I don't have people signing up on that list, nobody's buying it on launch day. Because if you didn't sign up on that list for the first dibs and the best price, I can't expect anybody to roll in and buy it on launch day. So having a mechanism like that in place is crucial. I want to pause there. Has anybody got questions on that? Does that make sense? Okay. Yeah, Tasha, go, buddy.
So would this be something that we would set up? Are you just doing this through social media, or is this on your website, or
I set up
the temporary?
You can do it a variety of ways. So ideally your website's great, but it doesn't have to be. So, I mean, the first year I ever did it with the Inner Circle, I didn't have all that technology set up. So basically every single day I was going out and doing a live video. I was basically like, if you are interested and learn about my Inner Circle, you can message me or just drop your email in the chat stream and I'll capture it and throw that on the list. I mean, I did everything just manual, and I had people dropping their emails all the time. And my chat, Kim probably remembers this. You've been with me long enough. I used to do that all the time. I used to always ask people for their emails, and they drop them in the chat all the time. People will do that on Facebook still even. So, and so I'd say, if you want to grab that, if you want me to grab your email, drop it in the chat stream if you're comfortable with that. If you're not comfortable with that, shoot me an email at justincapronpro@gmail.com or send me a message in Messenger. But get me that email, because I want to make sure I get you on that list. And you know how I am. I'm very convincing. So I'm like, get on that list. Tell people what you want them to do. Don't be like, I'd really love it if you send me your email. And if you want to do that, you could. No, tell them what you want, man. Tell them what you do. And sometimes they'll actually listen to you. So don't be sweet about it. Tell them, listen, this is going to change your world. I believe it. And if you don't give me your email today, you're a loser and you're going to fail. Don't tell them that, but be direct about it. Be direct about it and try to be convincing. Let me tell you this too. This is something else that I've learned over the years that I think is so important to understand, especially now with the way just people are on social, is people are much more apt to take action on something if they can take action right where they are. Meaning they don't have to go somewhere to take action, right? So that's why that works to basically, if you're live, or in some sort of experience to be like, drop this in the chat. Or even if you're like, even if you're like, well, I don't really want to ask people for their email in the chat, be like, all right, well then if anyone is interested in getting the information on this, put me in the comment me in the chat stream, and I'll reach out to you directly. Just get someone to give you some sort of commitment that you can lean into and cultivate. But that can happen in a variety of ways. Now, for me, I've got well, you guys can know this because you're my people. On November, the first thing that's going to happen in November is my retreat is going to open up for 2022. And there's only 7 spots available. So that's what's going to be available on November 1st. I have currently on my website, I have a low key email capture. It's not promoted. Nobody knows about it. But if you looked around at my new website, you notice there's a couple spots that talk about my upcoming retreat in the next year. And there's an email capture on that says, if you're interested in getting all the information, drop your email here and you'll get first dibs on the communication. That's there. And that email list has been growing since August when I first promoted my website. I haven't talked about the retreat at all to anybody live. It's just kind of low key on my website, but I put enough emphasis of it on my website so that I knew with my traffic of all the new people coming to the new website, once I promoted that, the people would come across it and be intrigued and drop emails. So I'll be promoting that over the next couple of weeks. So I have email capture on my website. Email capture is great on your website if you can promote that, Tasha. So back to you, but it doesn't have to happen that way. There's a variety of ways you can get people to tell you that you're interested. Just try to figure out your best way of doing that and see if you can get people to tell you. Does that make sense, Tasha? Right on. Anybody else?
Manual works for me.
I love it. Any other questions on that, y'all? You're good. Okay. How are you measuring interest? So I'm gonna stick on this point for just a minute. I'm gonna take a drink of my coffee. Cheers, y'all. Cheers. All right. Who's drinking coffee? Like, hands up if you got coffee. Who's got tea?
I still have to make mine.
You still got to make yours. It's, and then Jamie's got her smoothie, and Heather's probably drinking some sort of hornet infection fixer because she heard she got attacked by bees yesterday. Poor girl. Oh yeah. Okay. Y'all are awesome. And Shirley's got her Fiji water. Of course she does. All right. So how are you measuring interest? If there's nothing else that you take away from this thing today, is that is probably the most important thing that I can tell you right now, is you've got to find a way to capture and measure people's interest before they're selling it. And this doesn't just apply to Black Friday. This applies to just about anything that you're going to launch. If you can figure out a mechanism to measure and capture interest leading up to what you're selling, it will save your life. It will cause you so much less stress and so much less frustration, because there's nothing worse than pouring your heart and soul into creating something and opening the cart and nobody buys it. I've been there. It sucks. I hate it. And I don't want you to go through it. So, and the best thing that I've figured out to avoid that is to do this, is to find a way to capture and measure interest leading up to it. Because then, I mean, if I go out this week and even the next 2 weeks, and I'm talking and promoting my upcoming retreat, and I don't have anybody go and drop an email on that thing, then I need to shift something. I need to either shift how I'm communicating it. I need to get in people's DMs and start talking to them about it to see who's interested, who's not, or I might need to shift what I'm actually launching altogether at that particular time. But so if you go full all in on your promoting and marketing and talking about it and nobody's expressing interest, pivot, which is why we talked about pivot last week. Shift something if you need to, and call an audible. Don't just keep staying the course and hoping it all works out. Hope is not a strategy. Okay. That was number 5. So question number 6 is, with your marketing, what methods are successful, obsolete, and needed to be added? What methods are successful, obsolete, and need to be added? What I'm asking with this is, when you're in a crunch time like this, it's important to look at what you're doing and say to myself, what's working and what do I need to, maybe pour some more time and energy into? Is there anything that I'm doing that's obsolete? To me, obsolete means It's nice, but it's not delivering results. So I can trim that right now. Maybe you don't cut it, but maybe you just trim it. You may not have anything that's obsolete. That's fine, but just ask yourself that question. What's working? And am I giving that enough time and attention? Is there anything that's taking time from me right now that's just not necessary for me in this season? And then what needs to be added? Is there anything that you're not doing that you feel strongly you need to be doing? For example, you're going to see from me in the next several weeks, you're going to be seeing more emails from me than you've probably seen in your entire life. And I'm definitely not trying to be annoying, but your email list is powerful. The first email that I've sent in friggin' forever was the email I sent on whatever day that was when Facebook crashed. And I sent y'all an email Monday night talking about Facebook and Instagram shutting down. I got more responses from that email from people that aren't my clients. Thank you so much for this insight. Thank you so much for this. I needed this. I was stressing out, blah, blah, blah. Love your emails. I'd love to see more. I really, honestly, between me and us in the world, I hate writing emails. I really do. But I'm actually pretty good at it. But I don't like it. But, if I'm following my own formula, what needs to be added? Justin, email needs to be added because it works. All right. Business isn't all about just doing the things that you feel like doing. It's also about doing the things you don't feel like doing that are necessary. Email's necessary. I think in the world of Facebook crashing on Monday, we all realize the importance and necessity of email. And I actually have a pretty great email list too. I just never talk to them because I like you guys better. I don't, want to talk to them, but I need to. So what's successful? What's obsolete? What needs to be added? That's number 6. Number 7 is what is your November plan for cart and close? I shared mine just so you kind of have an idea what that looks like. You may not have an answer to that question yet, but it's a question that needs to be answered. You want to figure that plan out now. When are you going to open up? When are you going to close? Are you going to offer more than one thing? And I'll tell you this too. Don't feel like, well, Justin's coming straight out of the gate on November 1st. I need to too. Doesn't mean you have to. I think everybody does November differently. The only thing I do feel strongly about is I feel strongly that that Black Friday is too late. That's the only strong opinion I have about the matter. Black Friday is too late. Don't wait till Black Friday to tell people what you're selling. It's just too late. If you go, 2 weeks into the month, if you launch something, say on the 14th or something, I think that's probably totally fine. I just don't wait till Black Friday. I feel like Black Friday, by the time you get there, everybody's spent their cash and they're out. And I think it'll affect your return. But think about how you want to attack November. The other thing too is don't feel like you have to build around Black Friday. Honestly, I think Black Friday is a historical holiday at this point. That's about all Black Friday means to me. I mean, I will rarely be online on Friday. I'll be sitting and relaxing and still in my turkey coma on Friday. I don't worry about promoting. I'll have my cart automatically closes Friday on my website. I'll be relaxing and enjoying my weekend, and I'm not gonna worry about Friday. To me, it's kind of an obsolete holiday. What I am more focused on is the mindset and the behavior of the consumer in November, and how do I best take advantage of that? So, so don't feel like you have to build your thing around Black Friday. Just think about November. What's going to go on in November? What's your audience? What are the tendencies, behaviors of your audience, and how do you lean into that? So cart and close is basically, when am I going to open? When am I going to close? Do you have a limited enrollment? Is it limited by price? Is it limited by, numbers? Put some kind of limited in your thing. All right. Don't do this. Don't open cart and then just be like, it's open. It's anybody that wants it. I'll close it when I feel like it. No, it's open. Only 2.5 people can have it. And I'm going to shut this thing, tomorrow. Like there needs to be urgency. Like, it's to create some kind of urgency. So limited to 5 people, limited to 10 people. This price is only available for a certain period of time. You'll never ever see this price again. Something, there has to be urgency. There has to make people be like, oh, I got to get it now because this is the last chance. There's got to be that. In some way, however you can, try to create that if at all possible. The other thing I don't recommend doing, because we've all seen people do this, is this, I've got open cart. I've seen the people do this. It really drives me crazy. My cart opens from Monday and the cart's going to close on Friday. And then come Friday, it's supposed to close. And then you get the email this on Saturday morning that says, we had such massive interest. We decided to keep the cart open for another 48 hours. This is your last chance. Bull crap. You didn't sell as much as you thought you were going to, and you're still trying to get more out of them. And so now you're tapping into all the buyers that didn't buy, and you're trying to, no, forget it. Don't do that, because I think people can read straight through it and cut right through the noise. I love that, Kim Wendy. Thank you for saying that. Bonuses go away. Yes. Great way to go about that. So you have your thing, whatever your thing is, and you have like your primary open enrollment period, and there's only a short window of time that includes those bonuses. Absolutely, Jamie, 100% agree. 100% agree. And it just, everybody can read it. You can just read it when people, Jamie, for those guys that are watching the replay, Jamie said it speaks against your integrity. It's just, it's sleazy, and I hate it. I've seen people say they're going to close on Friday. You get the email Saturday, we're keeping it open for another 48 hours. And then you're expecting it to close Sunday night. And then there's another email Monday morning. Listen, we still can't keep up with all the interest. There's just so much. It's crazy. So we're going to give you one last shot. No, don't do that. Just please don't do that. So November plan for cart and close. Think about that. Last question, number 8, is a simple one, is, are you on track with what you're currently doing, or do you need to pivot? And pivot is what I shared with you last week, is what am I doing? How am I doing it? I gave you a whole series of questions to ask yourself based upon what you're doing with your marketing. Is what you're currently doing got you on track? Usually my marketing messages, my content, the things that I do ramp up heavy in November, because I'm trying to get myself out in front of people as much as possible. So if you've been doing kind of the once or twice live stream every once in a while, you may go to 3-5 days a week live streaming when you're in marketing, because this is go season. Heather, number 8 is, are you on track, or do you need to pivot? So based upon the questions that I'm having you ask yourself today, you should be able to go through and answer those first 7 questions. And then based upon the answers to those 7 questions, you should know whether you are on track or whether you need to pivot. If you got a whole bunch of question marks to those questions and you don't have answers to those, your first pivot is you need to get answers to those questions. And then once you answer those questions, you should be able to decipher, what am I doing? How am I doing it? What do I really want to see come out of this November selling season? Is the things that I'm currently doing now gonna got me on track to sell what I want to sell in November? Or do I need to shift some stuff? You might say, I really need to ramp up my content. I really need to start, I need to get in email. I need to start sending, at least 1 email a week. Maybe I want to send an email this week, an email next week. And then I want to start sending 2 emails a week. I want to start, maybe you never send an email to your list in your life, and you're like, I need to figure out email and send an email. Just write an email this week just to try one and try to figure that out. Pivot if necessary, y'all. Okay, y'all are fun. I enjoy y'all, especially Shirley. I really like it. May want to make you laugh. So that's it for my list for today, y'all. What questions do you have for me, Sherry? Please go.
Okay, so I joined a few minutes late, and I was trying to figure this out as I was making notes, but I think I missed something. Did you say then that you do not wait to open the cart until Black Friday, or you open it November 1st? Great question.
So what I do is my recommendation is, don't wait until Black Friday to open your cart, because I think it's too late. I think people will have already spent their money by then. So what I do is I open my cart. And for me, I will open my cart in November 1st. I'll have one offer, which will be my retreat, which that one won't actually have a closed cart, because there's only 7 spots available. So as soon as the 7 spots are sold, that deal's over. So that's, once it sells out, it sells out. And then 2 weeks later, which I think is the 14th, I'll have another open cart for another coaching program that I'll be revealing. And that will stay open, and that cart will close then on Black Friday. So I don't open anything on Black Friday. I will be closing my cart on Black Friday, and then I'll go through the weekend with nothing. And then Cyber Monday, I'll come out with a new, smaller little incremental thing. And I'll have that go from Cyber Monday through the following Friday just to hit another pay period. Does that make sense? Okay. Good question. Anybody else? Questions? Clear as a bell.
I just have a comment.
Go ahead.
You talking about email, because I just started my building my list, and I've never been in the email. That's why I was asking, because I'm the person that written the email before.
Yes. So I gotta let me throw this out to you guys real quick. All right. So I've had a lot of people lately. I've been talking about email a lot lately with a lot of my one-on-ones and stuff. One of the things that you can do, like people will say, well, Justin, I don't have a list. I don't think that's true. You don't have a list that you've structured yet. So if you've been in business for, a year or more, you have an email account that you use, right? And you've probably had connections, leads, contacts, communication. You have an email account that has emails in it. You just don't have an email system. All right. So, I got a client that I was working with last week, and she's wanting to start up her email list. And so we got into her website, and you can usually, depending on what website platform you're on, but like for Wix, for example, and WordPress also, you can actually connect your Gmail account, and it'll import all of your email contacts from Gmail and pull them in to your list. Now, depending on how you manage your email, depends on how many of those contacts are actually legitimate contacts. For me, I manage my business email very tightly, and then my personal emails where all the noise happens. So, if I import my business email, the business email, probably 90% of the emails that are in that contacts list are legit. But you can import, like if you have an email account that you're using, you can import your email list, and then you can go through and, clean out anybody that you don't want to have in there. But that's a good way to kind of start up an email list if you want to work from that. But I think email is, it's becoming more and more, everybody always talks about there's power in your list, there's money in your list, blah, blah, blah. We all know these things, but it is a great way to engage people. And I will speak to my own results statistically too. I have a significantly higher close rate when I use email to close. With 5-day challenges, with selling seasons. I mean, people, because you get right up in their inbox. And again, people are much more likely to take action on something if they can take action right where they are. So if you can spoon feed your information right into their inbox and give them a link to click to take action right there, they can take action right there. And then also, what the nice thing about email lists is you can usually track your analytics of that. So you can see who opened your email, who actually clicked the link. So who clicked the link but didn't buy, then somebody who was actually interested, so that you can go back and you can follow up on that person and feed them more information. If they need more information, you can see if you can get them on the phone. Yes, Jamie said it's a constant reminder every time they open their email. Yes, email is powerful. Building a list is important, and leveraging that list is important. So I don't know, did I answer your question, Shirley? Just give me some thoughts around email. Okay, I love it. Tasha?
Real quick. So I have been for a couple of years, especially with books, when I do my book signings and things like that, I always have a email listing pad set out for them to give me their email.
Yep.
So I've got a ton of email, but every time I go to send an email out, I hand type all those in there. I've never put all those in a structured, they're on a clipboard, and I literally type them all out. And it's like a lot.
So I'm going to show you with your website with Wix, you can go into your contacts. If you go into your dashboard and click on contacts, it'll open up the current list of people that have subscribed or hit an email form anywhere on your website. And you can hit add a contact, and you can manually add all those contacts. It'll take you that one long time to type them all in there.
Yeah.
But then once they're in there for forever, and they're automatically added to your list.
Cool.
Definitely something you should be doing in the next, week or two-ish to get that done. I mean, ideally, that'd be great to have that if you could do that this week. That way, when you come to Friday of your challenge and you roll out your final challenge email, you can, we could create a modification email to send out to your entire list of your new program that you're selling to your whole list. You could have also, I mean, it's Monday and your challenge started this morning, but you could have also, if we'd have plugged all those emails in, we could have kind of worked on those people to see if anybody wanted to actually join your challenge.
Got it.
All these things to stress you out a little bit, but
No. I was stressed out this weekend, but you
and we
saved the day,
we did fix
you.
Tasha's email problem, by the way, so she's all safe with that. But yeah, that's definitely. I don't believe anybody doesn't have a list. You've got a list. Might be small. It's somewhere. The problem when you say you don't have a list, you say, I don't know how to email my list. I don't have a way to do that. And you just got to figure out where all these emails are and get them in a system where you can start emailing them. I mean, I'll tell you this too. Before I had technology and had my website all sorted out and everything, I was just emailing people through Gmail. I mean, I used to run my 5-day challenges completely through Gmail. So like if I wanted to send a mass email out to 100 people, for example, I was capturing emails from Periscope all the time. So I had, like Tasha, I had a written list of emails, and then I started putting them into an Excel spreadsheet, which you guys have seen my spreadsheets before. So I started keeping track of my Excel spreadsheets, but then I'm like, how do I email all these people in Excel? Well, basically what I would do when I would send out a promotional email, even in 2017, when I was doing my promotion for my Black Friday, then I didn't have an email system. So basically what I would do is I'd go into Excel, I would highlight the entire column that has all the emails in it. And then I would go into my Gmail, I would write an email, I would put my own email address in the to line, and then I would copy my entire list in the blind copy. So it would drop my entire list in the blind copy line. So when my email would go out, it would just say from Justin Kaplan Pro, but nobody could see all the other email addresses. And that's how I used to email my list, was just through Gmail, because I didn't have an email system set up at the time. You could totally do that. I used to run my challenges off that as well. Anybody who would join my challenges, I'd put all their emails into an Excel spreadsheet, copy, go to Gmail, write up my email template, put myself in the to line, and then blind copy. Make sure you do blind copy, because people will get mad at you if you're sending their emails out to everywhere. I put blind copy so nobody can see the actual list that it's going out to, and I would send that out to everybody. So
I did that for my first.
Go ahead, Shirley.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, don't let technology overwhelm you into not doing something, because there's always a way, to do things. And just find a simpler way to do it. To be straight honest with you, years ago, me trying to get good at email marketing was enormously overwhelming to me. I did Aweber and I did all the different things, and I tried getting good at it. I just didn't like it. Didn't like how it felt. I couldn't figure it out. It was taking way too much time. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to send this to freaking Gmail, because I can do that, and that doesn't take a ton of time. And then I saved all my templates of emails that I wrote so I could repurpose my challenges, and that was it. So I just figured out a simpler way to do it. So it doesn't have to be over complicated. Just find your way of doing it. Shirley, question?
I did that for my second book, and I captured like over almost 100 emails. Yeah. And I sent them through Gmail, because I didn't know I was doing. So
yeah, and it works. It works totally fine. Yeah, it totally works. All right. Good stuff, y'all. This is helpful for you this morning. Good stuff. Okay. Questions for me. If any of y'all got to go, feel free to roll out. That's what I've got for you for content today. But I want to give you guys some time. Does anybody got questions, need feedback on anything that you're working on? I got some time just to hang with you for a minute if anybody needs my help with anything.
I have several things that
Shirley, go for it.
I have a whole bunch. I have about 20 books I'm promoting this month.
Okay.
Next month. And but what happened was the book, I was Awaken My Soul, the book that I did about 2019. And Amazon didn't send it to me that I could proof it. They just sent it out, put it out. So I revised that book. And what I'm doing now is anybody that can show me that they bought the book, I'm giving that book to them for free.
Okay.
And then I'm bringing it back to sell the right way.
Okay.
It was terrible. It was just terrible.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even promoting it. I didn't even promote it. So this month, the next month, I'm promoting it.
Okay.
And also the course to go with it.
Okay. I like that.
So and all the other books that I've written, like the journals and all the kinds, I'm putting all together for bundles for Black Friday.
Bundles are cool. You've got so many different books and so many different journals. You definitely need to be strategic about how you promote those, because you just have so many, right? So if it's like when you go to a buffet, people walk up to a buffet and there's all this food and there's all these main dishes and there's all these side dishes. What do I pick? Some people get so overwhelmed with their options, they just don't know what to take, so they don't take anything. So I would go through all of your books and I would really define, what do you believe are your best ones that you definitely want to promote? If you want to promote something individually, promote your best ones, maybe ones that haven't been seen in a while. But I love the idea of bundles. So especially with your journals, because you could bundle your different journals together and put a promotion together where you can sell a bundle of 4 or 5 year journals or even a membership too. I don't know if you've thought about that either, because you write books often, right? You're constantly coming out with new stuff.
Yeah, I got 21 coming out in November.
Yeah. Yeah, you and I can maybe talk about that one-on-one, but you could sell a membership where later, Daniel, see you later, man. You could, if you were going to write a series of journals, you could put a membership together for that too, or maybe every month you come out with a new focused journal. And then if there was a membership, everyone who's in the membership gets your new journal every month. And then maybe they're a part of a group that works through the journal on a monthly basis or something. That would be pretty cool. So they don't only get access to your journal, but they get access to working with you through their journal and can tap into asking you questions or something. Or that might be a good way to kind of revitalize the current group that you have. Because your group that you have, you're looking for ways to re-inspire them, right?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. I have I started out with a 7-day journal.
Yep.
Just so they can taste and see how it is. And I got the videos to that and the audio to that. Okay. And then I did a 31 for the same thing. Then I've already done the Awaken My Soul. And that's another thing. It's like 3 different things all by itself.
Yeah.
But the membership that I have now is basically, I want to change it to, because to me it's boring. If it's boring to me, I know it's boring to them.
Yeah.
Because they
you need to give them something new to liven it up. You might, I don't know. Thank you, Tasha. I'll see you later, buddy. I see, and Tasha, I saw your question. So I went through all those emails and I missed that one date. I changed a bunch of them because I saw there was the one at the top and it's the wrong date. So I'll go through as I go through your other email. You don't need to send me nothing because I was already looking at those. But I saw I missed it. So I'll have those corrected on the ones that go out today.
So but the Zoom, I don't need to change anything on that.
Yeah, you might check the Zoom and just send me a new Zoom because you're creating a scheduled link and it might give you a new Zoom number. So send me that. Yeah, because that needs to be plugged in differently.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right on, buddy. See you later.
All right.
So Tasha, or so Shirley, back to you. You might completely just revitalize that group. And what would be kind of cool is to give them an experience to go through with you. So maybe like if you're going to take, you have that new journal that you said it was 31 days. Is that right?
I have two that are 31 days.
Okay. So, that might be kind of a cool thing where you basically, everybody say in the month of November, you're going to give them your journal And then you're going to work through, and that journal is going to be your focus, and you're going to basically go through that together. And it's kind of like a Bible study almost, or like a small group type of thing, where there's a specific thing that you're working through, and it might make your approach to your group not feel so mundane or so flat. You know, give them something to, you know, you can leverage work that you're creating for them and for other people, because other people can still buy your journal, but then the group gets to go through that experience with you.
Because I think what I'm teaching now, I think it's too deep for them. I think, you know, they don't understand. I don't think they understand. I'm like, oh my God, you know.
All right, you and I might have to have a one-off about that. I mean, you might need to just completely reset your group altogether and try to attract a different type of person.
That's what I did yesterday, and I want to share that. I came up with 3 different things. I did a lot of thinking yesterday, so I got a whole new vision, you know.
Okay.
3 different levels, basically. Basically, because, you know, the first level I thought about, like the gathering. Anybody that loves the Lord or don't know about, just come in that group that I can talk to you. And then the next one be discipleship. The next one be ambassadors. Basically, that's what I thought about. Because they're not.
Yeah, no, you can't go too high on people that are just trying to, you know, baby Christians that are just trying to get their feet wet. Yeah. Yeah. So I would probably look at, you want to answering these questions that I gave you guys today, answering the question about who are you most connected to, what type of people are you attracting, and how do you best serve them? So you might say, you know, do I have all these young baby Christians that are just trying to grow in their relationship with the Lord? How do I best serve them and help them advance their relationship with the Lord? Or am I looking for a different type of clientele that's at a higher level, that's really trying to go deeper spiritually? And if I don't currently have those people, why? Is that because I need to change my messaging or my process or my strategy? What is it going to take for me to attract that type of person? Doesn't mean you have to do both of those things or all of those things right now, but those are just good questions to ask yourself. Do I want to narrow my product and be more specific to serving that particular type of group that I seem to have already attract? Or do I want to shift the way I'm presenting and promoting myself to attract people that are at a higher level? Or do I want to try to serve both of those? Those are some things you got to figure out, I think. None of those are easy questions, but those are things that you got to figure out. So you and I can circle back on that later when we're talking together one-on-one, but those are things you definitely want to figure out. I'm going to challenge you, Shirley. Don't do too much, because you have a tendency to go too much on all the things. Your world does not need all the things. They just need your best thing. So especially as you go into November, you know, I got all these books and all these processes and all these ideas in my head. What's the good ideas? And then what are the best things that I can promote right now? Because once you figure out your best, everything else is just noise.
But the other thing is that I really, my heart is to help people to write books. And that's the other thing that I'm working on as well. And do what I do.
And that's bringing in revenue.
Yeah,
right?
It is.
Yeah. So, I mean, really what it boils down to, when I'm going through all the things that are on my plate, I'm asking myself, what am I working to attract? What am I working to do right now? Am I working to build community? Am I working to generate cash? Am I working to create new programs? I think, if you're in a season of cash flow and you want to leverage a cash driving season, then promote your best thing that's going to make you some cash, which is probably your book writing program. And because you've already got it written out, it's already website built, ready to enroll. It's all there. So don't get busy creating and promoting new things when you've got this one thing right here ready to sell. Promote that and get people after that thing. And then once you get through the selling season of that, then maybe over the holidays, you work something more on one of your books or your journals. And then in the new year, you create, you revitalize your program, right? So pick your season for working on your different stuff.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right.
All right, good.
And Wendy, what's your question, buddy?
Well, for me, what I'm thinking about promoting is something at a low price, because I really haven't offered much. Okay. And so mine's going to be at introductory 27, and then later it's going to go to 47. So I'm going to do it something like that, but then I can upsell them later on into my other course that's at a higher price.
So you're trying to attract the you're trying to get people in the door to working with you, right?
Yes.
That's your goal, is trying to give them a taste of what you're doing. Are you doing videos? Are you doing anything right now to engage the people that you're connected to on social?
No, I haven't been. I mean,
Okay.
I have my group. I have 225 in my group so far.
Are you engaging with them at all, posting with them?
Well, it's like I have, and then I quit, and then I do, and I quit.
So you need to figure out, I think your biggest, I guess, focus area for the next couple of weeks is not necessarily what you're selling. It's to revitalize your tribe. You gotta wake your tribe up and get them talking to you. You might put together an impromptu quick challenge or something. Doesn't have to be super complicated or anything. But you gotta get that group awake and talking to you, because probably the people that are going to buy something from you are either going to be people that are in your group or people that are on your list. And I know you have a list, probably small, but how big is you have a list, right? Some sort of an email list.
Yeah, I have like 72 people on there.
Okay, yeah, so that's fine. And those are people that have all engaged with you. So if you haven't been active and present on social, it's going to be hard to expect people that are just out going about their daily lives to all of a sudden be intrigued to want to buy one of your programs off of social. So probably your most likely clientele is going to be people that already know you and have already had experience with you in the past. So in which case, you've got to wake them up, because if they're not seeing much from you, if they're not hearing much from you, they're sleeping and they're thinking about other things. So you got to get them excited about what they're doing.
Well, because that's a thing for horse businesses. The ones that do like Black Friday, or think people that have products like horsehair jewelry, bracelets, and all that. It's not the service-based people that do stuff like that. Yeah.
Is there anything intriguing about the horse business in November? Anything that's like, you're in Texas. Is there anything about horse owners that they're really thinking about in November going into the winter season? Anything that you could teach, train, or help people with, or is it not really?
No, because that's kind of starting to wind down, because show season is quitting. We're going into the winter where they don't do a whole bunch. It's in the spring where they start ramping up and stuff. So yeah, with the horse business, I'm totally different than marketing and stuff. I mean, what I'm going to offer is an introduction to using positive reinforcement with your horse, which they can use during the winter when they're not riding and stuff.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I give you a couple things. Is I tell you, you need to brainstorm how you're going to wake your list up and how you're going to wake that group up. You might, if let's say you put together a challenge. Let me look at my calendar. So you say you put together like a 5-day challenge. If you're going to do like a 5-day challenge with your group, any idea what you could do with them that they might actually want to participate in?
No, it's something that I know friends talked about for a while, thinking of a 5-day challenge. And I have no idea what I could do for a 5-day challenge.
All right. You and I might have to brainstorm on that individually, but I'm going to ask you to think about that, brainstorm on that a little bit, and see if you can come up with some ideas. Do some research out there too, and see if you can Google it, see if you can find anybody else that's doing what you're doing, that's done any kind of a challenge or anything, that, because you need something that can give people an experience with you. That's going to be important. And so if you were to come up with something that could give people an experience with you, that can be a good opportunity to wake your Facebook group up. And then you can also go out and promote that through social media to get new people to want to join your group to go through this challenge with you. But you got to give them some bait. You got to give them something they can sink their teeth into. Right. So that's going to be important. Without that, it's going to be hard to sell, because you got to give them an appetizer of some sort that they can interact with you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, makes sense.
Right on, buddy.
Okay.
All right, y'all. Anybody else questions for me this morning? Lynn, you're on the edge of your seat. I feel like you got something. You good? You got to unmute yourself, buddy.
I'm all right. First, did you receive my email? Because I know I sent quite large files, so I just wondered if you received.
I saw. I haven't opened them yet this morning, but I did give them.
Oh, that's fine. As long as you
I'm gonna check. I see you sent me a bunch of slides. They look like PowerPoint slides, but they should. I should have. I'm gonna check all those files this morning, just make sure they all open for me. Okay. But I think you're good. I've got everything, and I'll be going through that today, buddy.
Awesome. Okay. Quick question. So, I've been trying to communicate, like trying to connect with people in the DMs. When do you start talking business? Because obviously you can't just jump in the DMs and be like, sell this, I do this.
What I try to do is that's tricky, right? DMs are tricky. I always try to look for a way to add value in any way. So for example, I'll give you an example of one that I've used often is, so let's say I'm going through my live videos and I have someone commenting and interacting, and somebody says to me, let's say I do, 5-year best tips on how to grow your business in the fourth quarter or something. And so I got somebody that's interacting, and somebody's like, thanks so much for this content. Really loved it today or something. I'll comment to them on the post. So glad you enjoyed it. Lynn, do you mind telling me what was your favorite point for today? And you're like, Justin, my favorite point was number 4, where you talked about blah, 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 blah. And so you'll give me that, and I'll be like, all right, how can I help? And then one of the things that I've done in the past is I'll, if I got someone that's interacting with me, I'll go and look them up. All right. So I'll go Facebook business page, look at their website, look at whatever I can find to gather information about what they're doing. And so then what I'll do is then I'll come back to you, and so you've given me this little bit of interaction to warm me up a bit. Then I'll go to your DMs and I'll be like, hey, Lynn, just a quick FYI, I was just looking you up because I was curious to know what you're up to. And I searched for your name on Google and nothing came up. Actually, your website didn't come up. I know you have a website, but nothing came up. How comfortable are you with your SEO? Do you feel like you got a good handle on what's going on with your SEO? And oh my gosh, Justin, no, I actually hate that part. I've got some ideas for you on some quick ways I think you could really impact your search engine. Is that something you'd be interested in learning? I'd be happy to just get on the phone and chat with you for a few and give you some ideas. Definitely. I would love to do that. So I'm not trying to tell you what I'm selling. I'm just basically looking for a way. I try to find an opportunity that I feel like I can help you. And then I just make a suggestion. When I make a suggestion, my suggestion is more, I could give you this information. Would you be interested in hearing it? So with you, if you're interacting with someone in their DMs and you're talking to them a little bit, and you might be like, I was just going through your Instagram profile today, and I'm loving what you're doing. I love your content. I did notice that you're using the same 5 hashtags in every post that you do. I've got a sweet hashtag tool that I use that helps create some unique hashtags for every post, and a process that I think will help you get some more traffic and results. Would you be interested in just chatting with me a little bit about Instagram? I can give you some ideas what I think will improve it. Sure, Lynn, thanks. And so I'm just trying to find a way to get them on the phone. Then once I'm on the phone, then I can talk to you about, so what are you trying to do with Instagram? What are you trying to accomplish? Tell me about your business, and I can get the big picture on what's really going on. And then I can tell you, there's this great tool called #5.me that'll help you pick your hashtags. And I would definitely recommend, choosing 5 unique hashtags for every post or whatever. But it sounds like you're trying to figure out a more all-inclusive strategy. Is that right? Yes, definitely. I'm trying to figure out Instagram. I don't really know what I'm doing. And then thank you, Kim. Then you can kind of lead into telling them more about what you do and how you do it. Does that make sense?
Got it. Yes. Makes a lot of sense. Yes.
So there's none of us like someone kind of like, we all know as soon as somebody gets in their DMs and they're like, how are you today? I'm like, what are you selling me?
Exactly.
You're just trying to sell me something.
I'm trying to get away from that. Exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's hard. Marketing through DMs is tricky, but it's all in your approach. And what I have found works well is to be genuine, be valuable, look for an opportunity to serve, and then offer to help them. And then I'll be like, you know what? I love what you're doing. And I got some ideas for you I think could help. If you'd be interested in chatting with me, I'd love to chat with you. Is that something you'd be interested in? That last sentence, by the way, is a powerful one. I say that all the time whenever I'm talking to somebody in that regard. I'll say, is that something that you're interested in? You know, I'd love to chat with you on the phone and talk to you about your Facebook page real quick. Is that something you'd be interested in? If you leave off with that question, they're going to feel rude if they don't respond to you. So if you say, is that something that you'd be interested in? Then you'd be like, yeah, you know, I'd like to, or not at this time, but thanks so much. That's fine. But it's a good way to see if you can get them to respond to you a little bit. All right. All right,
Awesome.
y'all. You're so welcome. I got to get to a call in 15 minutes. So I got to get ready for that. Y'all are amazing. Heather, I hope your legs are better, because Heather got bit up by a bunch of bees, and that's rough. And she's on fire. So I'm sorry about that, buddy. And I'm hoping you're better. Kat, I hope you get on your plane and get to where you're meant to go, girl, without the least, with the least bit of struggle. And because that's rough. But y'all have an awesome day. I will upload this recording as soon as she is done. I'll see you guys later, all right? Bye-bye.